Today we will discuss reactive power management and voltage control. You know that reactive power and active power are the two components of the total power, and reactive power is very essential to flow active power and voltage control. The real and reactive power are the two components, that is, reactive power helps the active power to work, and power system requires both the powers, that is reactive power and active power. Active power is denoted by P and measured in watts, that is P is equal to I square R. And similarly reactive power is denoted by Q is equal to I square into X. X is the total reactance of the system and I is the current in the system, and it is measured in VARs or MVARs, and total power is equal to under root square P plus Q square, that is the measured in VA or MVA. Now we can see here voltage level will be balanced when the total active power resources and the reactive power resources will match. It means that the reactive power should be generated in the same quantum that is required in the system. So we can see in the diagram that inductive reactive power and capacitive reactive power are 180-degree apart, and in theoretically real power and reactive power are 90-degree apart from each other. So we here want to show that there will be a balance between the reactive power sources and sink must be to maintain the proper voltage level. Now, before coming to the main topic of reactive power, we want to show here the extra high voltages used in the different part of the world. Here we can see South Korea, that is 345, 154, 66 and 22.9 kV, and in Pakistan 500 to 20 kV and 132 kV. Similarly, USA 1200, 765, 500, 35, 345, 115 and 69 kV. Similarly, in India and Japan and China, there are lots of variety of voltage levels you can see in the slides. It means there is a myth that the voltage should be in multiple of 11 kV. That it is not true, and we can see the voltages used in the different country are different. Now we can see in the picture that there are reactive power sources and reactive power sinks in the picture, and in the reactive power sources we can see synchronous condenser, generators, capacitors, line charging and tie lines. Here synchronous condenser or synchronous motor, basically these are hydrogenating stations which can use as a load or as a reactive power generator also, and similarly all the generators can generate reactive and active power simultaneously. Similarly, capacitor bank provides the reactive power generation, and line charging. You see that when line is loaded less than its SIL limits, that is surge impedance loading, or that is line is loaded below 50% of the its capacity, then it will react as a capacitor bank. Similarly, the reactive power sinks are there, that overloaded lines are consumes the reactive power, and similarly reactors basically specially designed inductive coils which consumes the reactive power and control the high voltages in the substation as well in the long length transmission lines. Similarly, loads, all the inductive loads consumes the reactive power and reduces the voltages, especially inductive loads at the consumer end drastically reduces the voltages which can hamper the working or efficiency of the system and increases the line losses of the system. Similarly, generators especially hydro generators can be used as a sink of the reactive power. That is, in the fourth quadrant, the generator can consume the reactive power from the system and controls and helps in the controlling the voltages of the system. Here we can see the reactive power capability curve of a turbo generator, and we can see when we increases the reactive power generation, the active power generation is decreases. That is, if we increases the generation of reactive power from the generators, it will reduces the active power generation because total capacity of producing MVA is fixed, and now therefore the reactive power should be produced where it is consumed, that is the consumer end itself. Now we will discuss the key principles regarding reactive power management. Reactive power can be transmitted over a long distance or through power transformers due to excessive reactive losses. Means reactive power should not be transmitted through the power system or through the transformers because it increases the line losses of transmission system. Reactive power supply should be therefore located in the close proximity of its consumption, that is at the far end or the load end. Sufficient dynamic and static voltage support is needed to maintain the voltage limits in acceptable range to avoid any voltage collapse of the system. Sufficient reactive power reserves must be available to regulate the voltages in the power system. Reactive power generation can be at local level also, but generation it can be generated only through generators. So the basic principle of reactive power flow is that two connected substations, if voltage of station A and V1 and voltage of station B is V2, when the voltages of voltage V1 is greater than V2, that is the reactive power will flow from station B to station high voltage to low voltage side. That is the reactive power always flow from high voltage to low voltage side, and it means that low voltages will if low voltage is in the system, then reactive power flow towards the low voltage side. Now we can see here the maximum and voltage minimum voltage is permissible in the Indian electricity grid code, that is in 400 kV system we should maintain plus minus 5% of the rated voltage. Similarly in 220 kV voltages the plus minus 10% voltage level is acceptable limits as per Indian grid code. Similarly in 132 kV it is plus minus 10%, and in 66 kV it is also plus minus 10%. But in when we go towards 33 kV and 11 kV, it is plus 6% on the higher side and minus 9% in the lower side, means lower limit. Because if we reduces the further voltages, it can collapse the grid. So these are the operational limits fixed by the of the voltages fixed by the Indian grid code. Now we will see here to improve the voltages of the system. There are certain provision of penalties in the Indian Electric Grid Code. That is, if the voltages of the system are less than 3% of the rated voltage, that is if 220 kV voltage level is there and the system voltage is running at 214 kV, then there will be, if any state or any utility draws the reactive power from the grid, it will be penalized with at the rate of 15 paisa per kVRH. And similarly, if high voltage is there, that is 3% high, that is in case of 220 kV voltages, if 226 kV voltage is running in the system, and if any utility draws the reactive power from the grid, it will be benefited or it will get the reactive power charges because it helping the grid to maintain the voltage. And because if reactive power is drawn in high voltage condition, it will reduces the system voltages because high voltages are the slow poisoning for the power system equipments, that is our power transformer, circuit breakers, isolators, current transformer, power potential transformer, etc. So we should operate the voltages in the system One thing I would analog things here, that voltage in the system is analogous to the blood pressure of human body. If the blood pressure is not in normal range, then our body functioning will affect definitely. And similarly, if the voltage is in the system, voltage is a basically can be analogous to the uh, pressure in the water supply system. If pressure in the water supply system is less, then it cannot reach up to the tail end. Similarly, if the voltages, proper voltages are not in the power system, it will not reach to the load and consumers, and it can hamper the active power transmission. That is, the motor will stall and the fan will not work, and similarly other appliances may burn also. So we have to maintain the grid voltages at all conditions. If voltages are not controlled in a specified range, then it can lead to the grid collapse. Here we can see there are number of times in the world, number of voltage collapse and grid collapse in different part of the world, like in France 1987, 1987 in Tokyo, in 1989 is Quebec and Peru. Similarly in 2003 it is a North American grid, and Italy in 1997 northern region of the India, and similarly in 2001 1st and 2nd January it was in India, and 10th June in 2007 in Punjab. Similarly uh, in July 2012 the voltage were also collapsed due to non-availability of power in the grid, and it was it was a grid collapse due to voltages and power shortages or outage of transmission lines and misbehavior of productions, etc. Number of regions were behind the grid collapse of 2012. Now we can see here a case study of transmission lines. If the number of lines and reactive power demand increases, then the grid may collapse or the reactive power demand will increases. Here there are six lines, 500 megawatt each, and 3000 megawatt is being transferred by two generators, that is 9000 megawatt and 3000 megawatt, and load is equally to west corridor and east corridor. Here we can see that voltages are well within the permissible limits, and if we get out the lines one by one, then we can see the impact. Here we can see one line is out, then the voltages are still 100%, but MVR requirement is increased. We can see here 1176 and 1186, and the voltages are being generated similarly 3900 megawatt. Similar, here there are three number of transmission lines are out and only three numbers are carrying the load. Now the east bus voltages goes 0.99 per unit, and west bus is still having 1 per unit, but the reactive power demand increases, that is 1411 MVR and 1200 MVR, that is the reactive power demand increases and the voltages will go down. Similarly we can further, if we get one more line out, then there only two lines are there, and we can see that voltage will further reduce to 0.97 per unit, and the reactive power demand also increases. So next, in the last example we can see that only one line is there, and in the east corridor bus, the voltage level collapsed below the 0.77 per unit, which is very less, and it will collapse the system. That is, we can conclude here that if voltages are reduced, if transmission line are out, and if the reactive power generation is increases, then voltage will drop and it can lead to the grid collapse. Thank you very much. So if you like this video, you can subscribe or like this. Thank you very much.